Montana has become the first U.S. state to ban TikTok completely after the governor signed a legislation to ban TikTok in the state, which comes into effect from the 1st of Jan. 5 TikTok users have filed a lawsuit now in a federal court seeking to block the state's new ban on the platform. The lawsuit that has been filed in the U.S. District Court mentions the state attorney general, who is charged with enforcing the law. Now, the Chinese platform users believe that the law is a violation of their First Amendment rights. TikTok users have been arguing that the state seeks to exercise powers over national security that Montana does not have, and to ban speech, free speech, is not something that Montana should be doing. Listen.
Montana has become the first U.S. state to ban TikTok. The Chinese-owned short video app has over 150 million American users and has been under scrutiny over whether it can be used by China for intelligence gathering. Legislation Montana passed on Wednesday prohibits Google or Apple app stores from offering TikTok within state lines. TikTok may also face fines if the Montana users offered access to their app, and additional fines of $10,000 per day if violations continue. The ban will take effect in January next year. In signing the bill, Montana Governor Greg Gianforte said on Twitter he was protecting residents' personal and private data from the Chinese Communist Party.
Free speech.
Calls from national security hawks and lawmakers to ban TikTok over fears the data of Americans could be passed to Beijing have faced backlash from influencers, some who rallied in Washington in March over what they say would be a violation of their free speech. In response to Montana's ban, TikTok, which is owned by Chinese tech company ByteDance, said in a statement the bill infringes on the First Amendment rights of the people of Montana, adding that they will defend the rights of our users inside and outside of Montana. The company has previously denied that it has ever shared data with the Chinese government and has said it would not do so if asked. TikTok faced an effort by former President Donald Trump to ban new downloads of the app, but it was challenged in court and never took effect. Some of the app's free speech allies include Democrats in Congress, including Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and First Amendment groups like the American Civil Liberties Union. Jenna Leventov is policy counsel at the ACLU and told Reuters in April that Montana's ban would likely be challenged in court over constitutional reasons.
What they're doing is they are shutting down an entire platform that 150 million Americans use for constitutionally protected speech, for political organizing, for news gathering, for communication with loved ones. We view that as a prior restraint, right? That is when you shut down speech before it happens. By blocking this app, you are preventing those people in Montana from actually speaking in the first place on this app. And so we think that the courts would apply the highest level of constitutional scrutiny there.
TikTok is working on an initiative called Project Texas, which creates a standalone entity to store American user data in the U.S. on servers operated by U.S. tech company Oracle.
TikTok is a national security threat. This app steals information and data from users, and its ability to share that data with the Chinese Communist Party is unacceptable and infringes on Montana's rights to privacy.
Who cares if the CCP knows that we like guns? That goes for a majority of America. There's only 1.1 million people that this affects. Even less, like a small percentage of that use TikTok. It does not matter. I think our governor is being a little goofy. Now, how will this be enforced? Great question. I don't know. And I don't think the Capitol knows either. I've seen so many takes on it of like, you can just get a VPN and then you should be good. But then also people are saying that it mandates it to every product that is bought in the state of Montana. So like my phone I bought here in Bozeman, if I go to like Idaho or Oklahoma or whatever, and then try to use TikTok there, it is still a Montanan device, so it still won't work. I don't know. But yet again, we still have 6.5 months to figure out what all this is about.
I think it sounds like there's some very serious risks with using it and the information that's being collected from it. And so after hearing about it and then doing some research and learning a little bit more, I think I agree with it. Obviously, I do believe in the choice to choose what social media platforms are, but based on the fact that there's plenty out there and that there's some inherent risk with using this platform, I think the good outweighs the bad in this case.
It seems like a good thing, yeah. If it's something that's stealing people's information, yeah, it's probably a good thing.
fine is pretty large for TikTok and app stores. It's $10,000 for each time someone accesses the app or downloads the app, plus an additional $10,000 every day. So the fines can really add up. So this legislation would not fine individuals or bring any criminal penalties against individuals who access the app. It is designed to penalize TikTok and the app stores. However, people are concerned. They're concerned about losing their access to this app, especially small business owners. I've heard from people in Montana that use TikTok to access customers across the country. It's a really small state. The customer base is small. They need TikTok to build a business. Throughout our history, the government has always used national security concerns to justify violations of our free speech rights. It's the oldest trick in the book to try to justify taking away the speech of Americans, and that's why it's something that we need to fight. We can't just accept the idea that something is bad for national security and therefore it justifies limiting our speech.
The law is trying to force Apple and Google through their app stores and TikTok itself. It's trying to force them to deny access to TikTok based on whether they are located in the state of Montana. And so the challenge for these companies is that when your mobile device contacts their servers, they don't know where you are. All they see is something called an IP address. And the IP address says where you are on the internet, but it doesn't say anything about where you are geographically. I worry about all services that are collecting data about us, potentially selling that data or using it in other ways that might come back and harm us. I do not personally see TikTok as a particularly greater threat than any other major company in the US that is also collecting large amounts of data from us and that aren't targeted by the Montana law or any law in the US. Given that you're running on a mobile device, there's sensors, there's GPS sensors. They can figure out where you are. There's potentially your phone number, which might give away something about where you're located as well. There's all kinds of other sensitive information. I'm sure your address is somewhere on your phone. And so you might think, well, why not just send that data along to Apple or Google or TikTok and let them go ahead and have that ground truth information to be able to enforce this ban? That sounds great in principle, but it is a privacy nightmare. Great to see lawmakers paying more attention to the data that's being collected, but I'd prefer to see it being done in a way that doesn't single out just one company and doesn't come in the form of a ban of the usage of the entire service, but instead considers how we might be able to use these services without the surveillance that is extensively happening across many of these services.